Welcome to Leederville Oval for the match between West Perth and East Fremantle. East Fremantle have won their last 4, West Perth their last 2 in a row, and this promises to be a very interesting encounter. There's the bounce down. Zempilas wins the tap, down to Mithka. West Perth go into attack in the opening seconds. Coming out to meet the ball, Del Barello. It bounces over his head into the forward line. Derek Court couldn't judge it properly. Coming through strongly, Del Barello. Still he goes, got his boot to the ball, boots it into the right full forward pocket, but it looks as though it'll be Shane Ellis who will mop up early for the Sharks.
Ellis working the ball around the outer side of the ground, looking for a teammate down there, but Williams will be paid the mark. Hammond was the target. He was caught between 2 West Perth players, so poor disposal by Ellis with his first kick of the game. Williams has gone short. That's intended for Hall. He's ridden into the ground and has been penalised for holding the ball. Hall playing at centre half forward this afternoon as the clearing kick goes down towards centre wing. Williams is in front of the pack again, and Malcolm Williams is prominent early. He's just ahead of the centre line. West Perth kicking to the left of your screen. Difficult to work out exactly where the breeze is coming from. I suspect it may be favouring the other end of the ground this afternoon. It almost looks like a nor'wester, and a chance now for West Perth as the mark is taken for them by their full forward Hazel. Hazel will shoot from just inside 50 metres. This will give us a better indication as to which quarter the breeze is coming from. That's Kirst, the centreman, in the foreground. Yes, it's an odd breeze, and that won't get the distance. Holding up, thumped away from behind. Ball still in play. Amirandi led in the race for it. Madaffri, in fact, got there first, and will have a bounce about 25-30 metres out from the West Perth goal.
No score on the board in this match in the opening minutes of play. But West Perth have done all the attacking with no result as yet. That bounce favours Zupanovic. Over the top was Hazel. Knocked it straight down to Hammond. Away he goes. Kicks to the centre wing. Up goes Browning out in front of Higgins. Back comes Browning on top of West Perth player Damon. Higgins nudges it forward. Good solid collision there between Hammond and Zempilas. In the middle of the ground, it's Smallridge who sends East Fremantle to attack for the first time in the match. Lockyer overruns it. Repacholi missed it. Chance for Sadowski. And Sadowski clears it to the outer side of the ground. Getting underneath it out there is Buss, number 38 for East Fremantle. Damon closing, poor hand pass. He went back looking for a teammate in Michael Taylor, but was put out of bounds by the West Perth player.
Both sides feeling each other out. Could be a good contest, this.
It's Zempilas and Zupanovic. Down to Williams, caught, and holding the ball to decision. Revis Ryder, or is it Cracker who sends him forward? Cracker into the pocket for Lawrence. Almost the mark. Got it down to his boot, and it just landed in the field of play. It's out of bounds in the left full forward pocket, 35 metres around from the behind post.
Lockyer coming across to do the ruck work. He's going to be opposed by Repacholi. Repacholi from the back got the ball to ground, but East Fremantle able to get there first and get it across the line. In fact, it was socked across quite unintentionally by a West Perth defender, and so the free kick is going East Fremantle's way.
I think he thought it was out of bounds when he socketed it, actually. Must have been just inside.
This is Taylor, deep in the left full forward pocket. But that's a pretty good kick, indicating that the breeze is favouring that end of the ground, and Taylor used it to good advantage. East Fremantle get the first goal of the game from a very clever kick from Taylor deep in that left full forward pocket.
Well, it was a very costly mistake by the West Perth defence. I'm not quite sure who it was out there. David Palm, but I'm sure he believed the ball was out of bounds before he socketed it, and it must have been just inside. What a lovely kick from Michael Taylor. We haven't seen him before, but by Jove, he looked good on the way he got that one away.
East Fremantle, one straight goal. West Perth yet to get on the board. East Fremantle, one move into their forward line has brought up a goal. That socket upfield and lands with Lawrence coming off the boot of Hammond. He drives to full forward. Lockyer is there. In front is Lamb. Also there is Sadowski for West Perth. It clears to the outer side of the ground. That'll beat Buss over the line. No, it bounces back in the field of play. Arriving to tackle Buss is Damon. Play on the call from the umpire. Cracker in field. Lawrence hits around Palm. Kicks into the pocket. Out in front is Lamb. He's taken the mark. Almost in the same position that Taylor kicked the goal a few moments ago.
Like to look at Lawrence. Nice mover.
Colin Lamb, number 42 for East Fremantle. in the left full forward pocket. Breeze behind him. The kick is sailing goalward, and it's one behind only. Also went pretty close. East Fremantle 1-1-7. West Perth yet to score, and we've been playing 5 minutes in this first term.
John Lawrence, a diminutive left footer, but unlike Barry Cable to look at, and hasn't moved badly at all. We're very interested to see him during the day.
Quicker than his dad, Keith.
Well, he wasn't all that slow, Big Ray.
Quicker than his dad is now, I can tell you that. Good kick into play, but East Fremantle regained possession. The hand pass going back towards the half-forward line from Taylor is pushed across the line by Yaron and Moyer, and there'll be a throw-in midway between right centre wing and right half-forward for East Fremantle. Zempilas still doing the ruck work for West Perth. Zempilas gets the ball to the side of the pack. Cracker is in there, gets it wide, and in fact will get... No, he won't get the free kick. It's going O'Brien's way.
Rightly so.
O'Brien kicks towards the centre wing. Zempilas is up and takes an uncontested mark. Curse wanted the ball at centre half forward. He gets around Zempilas, steers it down towards the half forward line, but intercepting is Webber. Webber from left half back has Lawrence loose on centre wing. He has been prominent in the last couple of minutes of play, John Lawrence, using the left foot and finds Zempilas. He gets the hand pass further afield, intended for Hammond. It wasn't a good one. Yaron sockers it forward. Chance for Mifka. He stood aside, lets Zempilas take it. He goes down under a solid bump from Hammond, and he took it high. He's taking his time getting up, but yes, a good defensive mark. Taken back there for East Fremantle by Reid.
Oh, that's careless.
Dangerous kick. They might get away with it. Rankin ducked the tackle. The hand pass goes to Cracker, who gets it on in some sort of style to Deracourt. Now it's with Buss. Buss under pressure, kicks back towards Ellis. Ellis a long way down from his full back position, if that's in fact where he has started the game. The umpire's whistle is gone. And
I wonder what Buss's nickname is, Wal.
Trolley, I think.
Not double-decker.
Oh, Zempilas, clean position, lays it off to Browning. Good hand pass, Taylor paddles it across to Moyer. It could come unstuck, Palm the tackler. Moyer went for the hand pass, it's still in play. He gets around Higgins, squares the ball up now. The target coming out to meet it is Lockyer. He's got a fickle bounce, Repacholi knocks it away. Webber socketed it away from Mifka, who didn't really want it. This is Hammond, Zempilas, Webber. East Fremantle back into attack to the 50-metre line. Cracker and O'Brien got tangled up. Cracker's down. Lawrence goes on with it. Advantage rule paid. Lawrence over the top. Goal coming up for East Fremantle off the boot of Lamb. Cracker's still down. There he is in bother. East Fremantle at 2-1-13. West Perth are yet to score.
Well, Cracker showed enormous courage. He did not miss an inch. He ran straight back with the ball. He knew O'Brien was coming, but he decided to go anyway. And I don't think he's that badly hurt, because when you really do go after the ball very strongly and you cop one like that, it might stun you for a while, but you don't really get hurt. It's when you're standing not expecting that you get hurt. But Cracker's okay, and East Fremantle have a goal on the board, and they're looking pretty good, old East. They're winning the hard ball at the moment.
Gee, that would really have shaken Billy Cracker up. There was no malice there as far as O'Brien was concerned. They just locked arms, I think. But as Keith Slater said, great courage shown by Billy Cracker to go back and force that contest. And that was largely why East Fremantle scored the goal. Now this is Mifka on left centre wing for West Perth. Browning intercepts. The hand pass from him went astray. Hasler couldn't pick it up, and will have a bounce, I'm sure.
Umpires trying to let the game go, and a few ticky-touchwood free kicks have been let alone.
Going against Hammond, who's been spoken to by umpire Garrett, and the free kick is going to Hasler. No, it's not. No, he's not going to give a kick. He has spoken firmly to Hammond, and that's probably an appropriate decision. He said what needed to be said, the umpire. It really wasn't a serious offence, but certainly he's made his impression. Now Taylor kicks into the pocket, and that has eluded Lamb and his opponent Zadowski, and the throw will take place just inside East Fremantle's 50-metre line.
A good indication of the breeze there, while
yes,
that floated towards that pocket.
Definitely a nor'wester, isn't it? Or northeasterly, favouring that end of the ground though, the city end. Lockyer palming the ball wide of the pack, looking for Taylor, who in fact was holding an opponent. West Perth get the clearing kick towards the half-back line. Smallridge towards Lawrence. Mifka is in there also, and we'll have another bounce.
Just talking about bounces, there's no doubt about that line across the centre circle, definitely in favour of Zempilas today, isn't it? Zempilas looks a big bulky fellow who looks like he'd like to use his body rather than his springing ability.
Very promising ruckman, Zempilas. Again, he wins the tap.
Easy.
Sharp by Lawrence, though, through the traffic. He kicks into the right full forward pocket. This will stay in the field of play. Browning arrives, collides with Lamb, and together they force it over the line and out of bounds, but a kick's been picked out to be taken by Colin Lamb in the right full forward pocket.
Not obvious to our viewers, but pushed in the back. That's why he rushed in for Angel's feet to tread in front of Browning.
So East Fremantle with a chance to put this on the goal line off the boot of Colin Lamb. This time he's kicking into the breeze. Taking his time, measuring this kick off a very acute angle. You can't get it any more acute than that. It's a very clever kick, Colin Lamb. And East Fremantle have broken away with a 20-point lead in the first 10 minutes of this game. East Fremantle at 3-1 and West Perth yet to score.
Yes, they're applying a lot of pressure. They're very physical, East Fremantle, and they're winning more hard balls than West Perth at the moment. And that is allowing them to break forward. They have a very potent forward line today. When one looks down there, we see Lamb, Lockyer and Cracker in the full forward line. Half forward line, Browning at centre half forward. Lester Smith would be out there somewhere, I would think. Taylor
Sitting on the bench, Keith.
Lester Smith, well, there's another very potent player, and he'll come into the play sometime.
Some good marking power there, Keith.
Yeah.
Lamb, Lockyer, Taylor and Browning. Zempilas takes clean possession, is pushed in the back, and will get the free kick. Robert Zempilas, indicating that Hall was in the way. Kicks to centre half forward to where some of his shorter half forwards were standing. Buss was in that. This is Turley. West Perth need a goal just to get themselves into this game. Del Barello is in front, and he has taken a strong mark. Now, Amirandi, that should be 50 metres. That was completely unnecessary.
And almost a reportable offence. I don't agree with players going in and kicking or kneeing. It's not on.
Comments from Keith Slater, and I don't think anyone would argue with them. Now, Del Barello, from just outside the 50-metre line, will put this close to the square. Hall was the flyer. Hazel has it. Got his boot to it, but awkwardly, and it's rushed through for a point. It wasn't Del Barello, I'm sorry. It was Higgins, yes.
Good stamp of a lad, Hazel. Good-looking athlete. Good size for a full forward, number 50 for West Perth.
Got some pace, Keith.
Has he?
Deracourt brings the ball back into play. A well-placed kick, and Smallridge not paid the mark.
Should have been a mark.
It was a tough decision, and now Curse has been taken high, and he will get the free kick. The West Perth centreman goes across towards centre half forward, and everyone stood down and allowed Turley to take the mark on his chest. Player loose at centre half forward is Hall. Ball just carried too far, but he runs onto it. He could goal from there. It'll take a good kick into the breeze, but it is a good kick. West Perth are on the board in terms of goals. They're 1-1, East Fremantle are 3-1.
Lively game so far, Keith.
Yes, I was about to say that Turley really should have done better on that occasion when going for young Hall down there, but he played it beautifully, Hall. He didn't panic. He wasn't going to get there to take the mark. Instead of diving at it, he read the play very well and evaded a couple of East Fremantle defenders, and then once in possession, it was easy pickings. But West Perth sorting forward, good football on that occasion.
19 plays 7 in favour of East Fremantle. Almost 15 minutes gone in this first term. Umpire Baynes thumps it into the turf. Up goes Zempilas, beaten by Savanovic, knocked on by Del Barello. Into the path of Webber. He hooks to centre half forward, knocked away by Browning. This is Buss, inside centre half forward. Collects the football. Kick is off the side of the boot. Repacholi in front of Lockyer. Yes, he's paid the mark, but Repacholi pays on. He kicks to the outer side of the ground, out in front of Taylor. Turley arriving late. A boundary throw in at left half forward for the Sharks.
A sign of confidence there by Repacholi, playing on under pressure. Had the tackle gone on in that position, then he could have lost possession very easily.
Zempilas and Zempilas over the top. Zempilas, good knock to Turley.
Blocked.
Tried to get a hand pass, it was blocked, and Hammond boots it to centre half forward, and Cracker's taken the mark.
He's recovered okay.
Around the corner he goes for Lockyer. Couldn't hold it. Socked away by O'Brien. Repacholi's got a foot race on. Arriving the speedy Webber. Repacholi and Webber. David and Goliath. Webber, good use of the body. O'Brien puts Lawrence out of business, and the umpire's seen a push in the back to be taken by Robbie Webber.
Well, West Perth had the numbers then. They could have done better.
I hope that wasn't against O'Brien.
No, it was against Repacholi. This is Mifka. He's going up. It was Palm in the hot seat. when he received that hand pass. He was fortunate. It was a reckless tackle.
Like selling him a used car.
Oh, without a warranty.
Yeah.
The kick goes back towards centre half forward for West Perth. The mark is taken by Reid. He kicks back towards centre wing, and Webber just cleared that player. Mifka should have done better. He regains possession. Good hand pass to Turley. Turley looks down towards the half forward line, and Yaron was loose. He thought about going. He's got Williams loose in the pocket. He kicked that under Ryder. They might get away with it. Higgins has it. Comes back to Yaron. Clever ball skills. Again, he grubbers the kick. Intercepted this time by Rankin. Gee, some ordinary kicking. I think they've been watching that rugby league too much. Zupanovic goes across the face of the ground.
Well played.
And down goes umpire Baines, but recovers his footing and his whistle in time to award it to Bennett. But to Hammond.
Very well.
Hammond kicks towards centre half forward for East Fremantle. Browning was spoilt cleverly. It's knocked on by Buss. That was well done. Satowski gets to it first. He was taken high, and he'll get the free kick.
It doesn't look a bad play, young Buss. We haven't seen him before.
Sadowski to the outer side of the ground, and Damon's taken the mark. West Perth short passing in the forward line cost them dearly. The kick to centre wing. Curse and Reid out there. Now Mudaffri. Good use of the body. From ground level to Hall. Over the top was an intelligent hand pass to Curse. Inside 50. He drives to the square. Up goes Rankin. And it takes a safe relieving mark for East Fremantle.
The same cohesion in their forward line as East Fremantle.
Into the pocket for Ellis. Over the top. East Fremantle out of bother now. Put upfield by Reid. Close to the boundary line. There's Zupanovic and Zempilas out there. A boundary throw in this time at right half forward for West Perth. It's 12 points the difference. 17 minutes gone.
Gee, this oval's in good shape. In fact, every oval we've seen this year has been absolutely immaculate, hasn't it? Really manicured.
And the mild summer probably didn't do it any harm. Chance for Buss. He overran it. East Fremantle bring it away. Buss through the centre again. This is Smallridge. Towards half forward. It's up high. Intended for Lamb. Knocked away by Sadowski. Well recovered by West Perth. Palm gets it out wide. Good run from the West Perth defence, but a terrible kick. They should be on the attack. Taylor intercepted it. Back it goes in the direction of Browning.
Yes.
The mark not paid. Free kick being paid.
Well, it must have been the mark, was it?
No, he paid over the shoulder.
Well, he was coming from behind, I thought.
Yes. Kick towards Lockyer. First back to it is Hasler, who went one hand, gives Cracker the chance. East Fremantle had their fourth. That was slack play by Paul Hasler. 4-1 to 1-1.
Billy Cracker has recovered very nicely and playing a major part in that forward line, but Paul Hasler, the captain, going one hand, and you must always go two. And it looks good when you pull it off one hand, but when you make a mistake like that, everyone on the field, especially your teammates, know you've made that mistake, and it's cost a goal. So 2 mistakes in this quarter, a little chip out of bounds on the full, and now that mishandling by Paul Hasler has cost West Perth 2 goals. And they just can't afford to give East Fremantle easy goals.
3 straight goals, the margin now in favour of the Sharks. Umpire Baines with the football. Zempilas. That bounce favours Zupanovic, who missed it. Smallridge, hand pass only as far as Damon. Zempilas run down from behind. Out of the middle, Hammond. East Fremantle go into attack. Browning should arrive first. That's a clever mark. Then Browning.
A bit of courage involved there too.
The short pass is on. Cracker, whistle has sounded, and the ball's got to come back.
Well, I'll never really understand that law or rule of football. I mean, there was Browning trying to play on. He had a man loose, and the umpire awarding the mark and saying you've got to kick over the mark. It befuddles me a little bit, that one.
25 plays 7. Browning shooting for goal from 50 metres out. Rees would favour him, if any. It's a pretty good kick of the football, Clint Browning. This will go close. Browning, drop punt. He was underneath it a bit. It'll get the distance. Hits the post.
Gave it a nice old whack too.
We welcome viewers right around Western Australia to this match here at Leederville Oval between West Perth, who've won their last 2 games, and East Fremantle their last 4. You can see the difference, 19 points in favour of the Sharks, who've done most of the attacking in the last 12 minutes of this first term. West Perth started well, didn't have much result on the board. East Fremantle are going with the aid of a breeze in this first term. There's the kick back into play. Webber's got it for East Fremantle. Around the corner, he finds a teammate in Moyer. Yaron putting the tackle on a bit late.
Yeah, and that foot coming out then, he'd need to be a bit careful right in front of the umpire.
The pass is on for Lamb. That's a good kick, good lead. Lamb is marked 35 metres out on a 60-degree angle.
Well, he's a promising young player, isn't he, Lamb? We've heard a lot about his performances this season, and he's shown up very well in that full forward position. He's playing at full forward. Lockyer's in a pocket, and the Rover in the other pocket, so they have all areas covered down there.
Drop punt on its way from Colin Lamb. He's pushed that across the top of the post, and one behind only. East Fremantle a 4-3, West Perth a 1-1. With me in commentary, Keith Slater. Ken Casellas is our statistician. Who's been the leading kick getter on the ground so far, Ken?
Hammond for East Fremantle playing as a ruck rover has had 5. Lamb, who kicked a point then, has had 4. 3 kicks to Michael Taylor, 4 to Turley, 4 to Lawrence, and 5 to Rob Webber on a win for East Fremantle.
And my co-commentator, as always, Wally Foreman.
This is Sadowski at full-back for West Perth. Gets good distance with that kick. That was Webber who missed the mark. Chance now for Higgins to get West Perth moving. They've not had great penetration beyond the centre line so far. Now Higgins has perhaps eliminated some of his options by running as far as he did, but fortunately the mark has been taken for West Perth out on that half-forward line. There's still some distance from goal. Kicking into the breeze. It's difficult to work out where the breeze is coming from. Hall was the leaper, and he's been penalised. It wasn't, it was Hazel. He's been penalised for interference. The free kick will go to Deracourt.
Well, only the umpire would know where his eyes were looking. He had his knees up, and that's quite permissible, providing his intentions after the ball.
Ryder is the target. Yaron up behind him. He did very well. A much smaller player, Yaron. Came back to Yaron. He's close to the boundary line. Holds it in. No, he didn't hold it in play. Right in front of the West Perth grandstand, so I wouldn't place too much credence in the boos. Zempilas and Zempilas. Zempilas winning front position, but he goes straight down to Williams. His hand pass was ineffective. Turley got rid of it quickly, taken by Yaron. His kick smothered by Ryder. Turley again close to the boundary line. Tries to elude Cracker. Cracker persistent. Turley's in trouble. That's holding the ball.
It was a very good tackle by Browning.
Webber has heard the whistle. He must have heard that whistle. He's played on about 30 metres upfield.
I think he believed it was a free kick to East Fremantle. He was trying to gain the advantage decision from the umpire. And he had every right to think it would be paid for holding the ball.
Let's have a look at the leap on Zempilas, number 1 for West Perth. He's been very prominent early in this game and an outstanding talent. He's been awarded the free kick here for interference by Handa Mifka. West Perth need more from him. He's had opportunities this afternoon and hasn't utilised them. Higgins claiming the mark. Hazel at the back. Chance for Ellis. He got the hand pass away to his own advantage. Taken now by Higgins, who was tripped. A chance here for West Perth, although it will be a difficult kick. He's got to negotiate this breeze. And a change about to be made as Zempilas will come off and Hodson will go on for East Fremantle.
We've got no idea how strong the breeze is. There's no flags or windsocks or anywhere on this ground.
Difficult to even work out its direction. In fact, he has got the distance this time, and West Perth get a badly needed goal. They move to 2-1. East Fremantle at 4-3. 23 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Yes, and coming off the ground for East Fremantle is Zabanovic, and he's done a very good job. He's been aided by some favourable bounces in the quarter, but there's Ellis, I thought, was held before this happened, and there's the trip. But Ellis could be a little bit annoyed there because he was obviously held. The jumper was well stretched, and a very good kick from Higgins. We assume he's kicking into a fairly stiff breeze, although that kick seemed to carry very easily. So with no indication from anywhere, we're not quite sure of the strength of this breeze.
Cousins playing in this match, Nathan and Richard Higgins. There's the bounce.
I thought you meant Brian.
Zempilas. Again, Del Barello. Fisted forward. Out of the middle. Hall was robbed. Cracker kicks it upfield. About 25 metres. Coming to meet at Moyer. Good pick up on the run. Good spoil by Palm, though. It comes back to Moyer. Around the corner he goes looking for Lockyer. Lockyer, good poise. Outside 50. There's the kick towards full forward. Lamb. Almost the mark. Browning with support now. Lamb with a snapshot in the right full forward pocket. He's pushed it across the face. Hasler went without it. He was pushed by Taylor. Ball on the ground. It comes out to Lawrence from Lamb. Lawrence a hook back on goal. And he thinks he put it through. Yes. It's all a bit casual then from the West Perth defence. And once again, Hasler fumbling at a crucial moment. Another goal to the Sharks. West Perth at 2-1-13. Let's watch this again. There's the fumble, Keith.
Yep, and but there's no desperation. When Lawrence gets free, as he does now, everybody just has a look. The spectators. I mean, you've got to move very quickly in that situation, especially when you're so close to goal. But Lawrence had time to weave and turn and have a good look and pop it through. It wasn't all that difficult at the finish, but a good handy goal to the Sharks.
Gives them a 20-point lead now. Their scores from other grounds. Swans leading Perth, and South Fremantle and Claremont tied up.
This is Webber, pulled off the kick, gives West Perth a chance through Turley. He comes back to accept the next hand pass. He gets run down by Cracker. Well chased by Billy Cracker. The ball to the top of the square. East Fremantle in front. Point.
Oh, full marks to Billy Cracker, and that's the desperation that I was talking about that was missing from the other end. But he made up 10 metres very quickly indeed on Craig Turley. Derek talking from West Perth.
Derek Court brings the ball into play, intended for Amirante, but it missed him. It's been marked by Madaffrey.
Well, he's a noted goal kicker. We've just seen young Higgins kick one from a bit further out than Madaffrey is at the moment. It'd be about his distance, Trev, wouldn't it?
Right on, Keith.
It seemed the breeze might be coming almost straight across the ground now, so it shouldn't be affecting either side at either end. And Madaffrey has used it well. Another goal to West Perth, so they're staying in touch. They're 3-2, each Fremantle at 5-3.
Well, I'm not sure about this breeze, but certainly those last two goals from Higgins and Madaffrey kicked from about the 50-metre mark, and neither of them are real long kickers of the footy, but they carried very easily indeed. And it's goal for goal at the moment, good football.
Right on 50. Sharpshooter Madaffrey puts one through for the Falcons. Margin back to 13 points in favour of the Sharks. Zempilas beaten by Hodgson. Damon first to arrive. Witt looking for Higgins. Shark by Lawrence. Lawrence with good vision puts it out in front of Moyer. Arriving Lamb collided with his own player. Sadowski hand passes away. Palmer's outnumbered. Hammond through the traffic. The kick towards the top of the square for Browning. Too good for Repacholi. And a good move upfield there by East Fremantle. They hunted in a real pack. And they outnumbered West Perth about 4-1.
Yes, and West Perth's defence has a problem. To me, they appear to have players who are out of form down there. Repacholi hasn't been in good form this season. Hassler seems to be fumbling the ball today. Palm is not his normal sure self. And it's making it a lot easier for the East Fremantle forwards as Bounding pops away and puts it straight through the middle.
6-3-39, plays 3-2-20. And we've played 2 minutes of time on in this first quarter.
There's just a lack of real desperation down there, and they're trying. There's no doubt about trying, but there's a difference between trying and being desperate. And if we have a look at the other end of the ground when Billy Cracker just ran young Craig Turley down, then you understand what desperation is all about. You haven't got too much time, but you've got to act very quickly. And the West Perth defensive players are not acting quickly, and which means they're getting themselves into trouble. And that is the area that West Perth are falling down at the moment. East Fremantle also have done pretty well in the ruck in this quarter.
Hodgson now in the ruck for them. Their recruit from Torrens in South Australia, being opposed by Zempilas. Players locking arms. Ineffective ruck play, but it comes back to Hodgson, and East Fremantle go forward again. West Perth wouldn't want to concede another goal in the dying stages of this first quarter. Lawrence socketed straight to Browning. Lamb is back on the goal line, and that will carry him and go out and play on the full.
Again there, while we see Repacholi, he must have been 10 metres behind Browning and just hoping like hell he missed it.
Their defence is in disarray, isn't it?
Yep.
It's their problem at the moment. They're kicking goals at the other end, but they're conceding them too easily in defence. As Curse clears the ball towards centre wing. Reid comes across to meet it with Hall. Picked up by Amirante. He was run down by Williams. Play goes on. It appeared that Hall was pushed in the back, and the West Perth centre half forward will get the free kick. West Perth need a goal before quarter time. Ryder will fly from the back for East Fremantle and gets it over the boundary line. Hazel going to do the ruck work. He's indicating to Zempilas to stay down on centre wing. Coming in to oppose him is Hodgson. Hodgson up over the top, but Hazel did well. Yaron was dispossessed, gets a second chance and perhaps a third. A hand pass from Hazel was intended for Yaron. It was easily intercepted by Webber. And the free kick has gone against West Perth. I didn't see what for. Webber plays on quickly. He goes across to the centre of the ground where Hammond is in good position. The kick wasn't a good one. Hasler dropped the sitter. Gee, he is having a bad day today as Buss has the ball held to him, and umpire Baines was 2 metres from that, so no one can really dispute the decision.
Well, good decision. The Fremantle player had his arms out, indicating that he was not holding the ball.
Bounce down almost in the centre circle. 30 minutes gone in the first quarter.
Great knock.
Ball comes straight down to Higgins, taken now by Mifka, who tries to elude Smallridge. Kicks to centre half forward where Yaron is loose. He will go, no, he won't go wider.
Well, he's had 3 kicks that have travelled about 5 metres each so far.
Well, this one he didn't really get onto either. Galbarello missed the mark. Chance now for Madaffri. He's missed. Well, if West Perth could have selected a goal kicker at this stage, I'm sure it would have been Madaffri. He missed to the left, and so a point results when West Perth badly needed a goal. 32 minutes gone in the first quarter at Leederville Oval, and it's 6-3 to 3-3 East Fremantle lead.
They're caught to put the ball back into play. The centre half back, Galbarello one-handed. He regains his composure though. Now he's tackled by Hodgson, forced the hand pass away. In goes Hodgson, bundles it out for Ryder, over the top. This is Buss, a good first quarter. He's tackled high. The advantage rule played here for Webber. Webber kicks towards full forward. Sadowski and Lamb. Lamb got a hand to it. Browning runs onto it. Back to Lamb. Lamb's dispossessed and it's forced over for a behind.
Well, they'll never have a better chance than that of kicking a goal, East Fremantle. No one able to take clean possession, running straight into an open goal.
9 goals in this first quarter. 6-4 plays 3-3. East Fremantle with the aid of a slight breeze in this first term. Maybe a little bit stronger than we think. O'Brien missed the mark, but it didn't matter as the quarter-time siren sounds here at Leederville Oval. East Fremantle 6-4-40, lead by 19 points over West Perth, who are 3-3-21. The goal scorers for the Sharks, 2 to Colin Lamb, and we'll see one of those goals in our package of highlights of the first quarter in a moment. It was a beauty. And singles to Michael Taylor, John Lawrence, Clint Browning and Billy Cracker. And for West Perth, Nathan Higgins, Derek Hall and Paddy Madaffri, the goal scorers. Swans have jumped Perth. East Perth are leading Subiaco, and there's 1 point the difference down there at Fremantle Oval in favour of Claremont. Keith, you might like to sum up that first quarter.
Yes, well, East Fremantle initially wanted the hard ball more than West Perth did, and that allowed them to go into attack. And they got good support in the middle of the ground by Sabanovic, who he wasn't out leaping Zempilas, but he had a favourable bounce on many occasions, and he was able to get East Fremantle going out of the centre. I was very disappointed in West Perth defence in that quarter. They have some experienced players down there and a draft choice in Rapacholi. But together, Rapacholi, Hassler fumbled a lot. Palm was misreading the ball on many occasions. And really, the West Perth defence did look in disarray, and that made it a lot easier for the very potent-looking East Fremantle defence. They have a very good attacking East Fremantle attacking zone. They have a very good attacking zone down there, which meant that makes goal kicking easy when you have got a bit of cohesion in your forward line. West Perth's forward line, to the same extent, kicked some goals to keep in touch, but they gave away free kicks. In fact, 3 goals in that quarter coming from mistakes, fumbled balls or kicks out of bounds on the full. And generally, I thought East Fremantle looked the better side. However, West Perth are still in the game. The confidence is still in their camp. They just need a few players like their defence mainly and Mithra on a wing to lift to give them some chance of getting back into the game.
Comments from Keith Slater. You joined us late in the first quarter. Let's have a look at some of the highlights before you cross to Leederville Oval.
Rapacholi from the back got the ball to ground, but East Fremantle able to get there first and get it across the line. In fact, it was socked across quite unintentionally by a West Perth defender, and so the free kick is going East Fremantle's way.
So this is inside.
This is Taylor, deep in the left full forward pocket. But that's a pretty good kick, indicating that the breeze is favouring that end of the ground. And Taylor used it to good advantage. East Fremantle get the first goal of the game from a very clever kick from Taylor deep in that left full forward pocket.
Zapanovic, Webber, East Fremantle back into attack to the 50-metre line. Cracker and O'Brien got tangled up. Cracker's down. Lawrence goes on with it. Advantage rule paid. Lawrence over the top. Goal coming up for East Fremantle off the boot of Lamb. Cracker's still down. There he is in bother. East Fremantle at 2-1-13. West Perth are yet to score. Easy sharp by Lawrence though through the traffic. He kicks into the right full forward pocket. This will stay in the field of play. Browning arrives, collides with Lamb, and together they force it over the line and out of bounds, but a kick's been picked out to be taken by Colin Lamb. Taking his time, measuring this kick off a very acute angle. You can't get it any more acute than that. It's a very clever kick, Colin Lamb. And East Fremantle have broken away with a 20-point lead in the first 10 minutes of this game.
Back it goes in the direction of Browning.
Yes.
The mark not paid. Free kick being paid.
Well, it must have been the mark, was it?
No, he paid over the shoulder.
He was coming from behind, I thought.
Yes. Kick towards Lockyer. First back to it is Hasler, who went one hand, gives Cracker the chance. East Fremantle had their fourth.
Most of those highlights belonging to East Fremantle in the first quarter. They lead by 19 points, 6-4, plays 3-3. Who have been some of the leading possession getters on the ground, Ken?
Thanks, Trevor. Rob Webber, as usual, is a busy player for East Fremantle. On his wing in the first quarter, Webber collected 8 kicks, 3 of which were free kicks. Other prominent kick getters for East Fremantle, John Lawrence, and a half-forward flanker, had 6 kicks in the first quarter. Moyer had 3. Buss on his wing had 3. Bill Cracker 4. Browning 2 marks and 4 kicks at centre half forward. Darren Hammond, a busy ruck rover, 6 kicks in the first quarter, 1 hand pass. Michael Taylor 3 marks and 3 kicks, and Lamb at full forward had 5 kicks. For West Perth, Sadowski was the best of their defenders with 4 kicks. Of the other players, Curse in the centre had 3. Mifka on his wing, playing on Webber, managed 3 kicks. Turley 5, 4 to Nathan Higgins, and Len Yaron 2 marks and 3 kicks.
If you'd like a video of this match, there's the number to ring, 326-0459, and you can hear Wally Foreman every night for $45.
Can't see you racing into the ABC shop for this one at the moment, Trev. East Fremantle 6-4, West Perth 3-3. That's the score at quarter time. Zempilas to be opposed by Hodson. At the bounce to start the second quarter. West Perth need to respond here. Hodson gets the ball wide. Buss loses his footing. This is Damon. He needs to lift. The hand pass was an ineffective one. Intercepted comfortably by Reid. He gets it across to Ellis. Ellis to centre half forward. Coming in to meet it is Lawrence. It's knocked down towards Cracker. He couldn't control it. Chance for Taylor. And he has been caught holding the ball.
Has he ever?
Yaron was one of the 2 who applied the tackle. The free kick is going to Curse. Curse from the centre of the ground goes short. He's found Turley, who goes wider with a hand pass to O'Brien, having trouble hanging on to it, goes back towards Turley, who wasn't expecting that. Del Barello has it, in towards a vacant space, but dropping into that space is Reid, and he takes the relieving mark for East Fremantle. Reid goes across the face of the ground. Here's danger for East Fremantle. Mifka should mark. Over the top of Lawrence. It was a poor lead by Lawrence, but it should never have been honoured with the kick anyway.
Terrible kick by Reid, kicking to a smaller man like Lawrence. Had no chance in the air against Mifka.
Fight behind play.
Del Barello and Hammond.
Now Mifka, West Perth need a goal here. Mifka hasn't been prominent, and he's put it out of play on the full. In fact, Ken Casellas, I would suggest a couple of West Perth's more senior players are those that haven't been prominent. Damon for one, Del Barello another.
Damon 1 kick, Wally. Del Barello's had 2 kicks. And Palm's had 1 kick, so they've been right well and truly down on form.
East Fremantle still in difficulty in their back line. They've got a bit of work to do yet before the pressure goes off. Rankin's hand pass goes to Derricourt. Derricourt to Reid. Now they've got a bit of room. Reid bounces his way up to the defensive 50-metre line. Kicks into the centre of the ground. They're outnumbered here. Moyer was the leaper. Cracker brilliantly off hands. This is Buss. He's run down from behind but got his kick in the nick of time. Lockyer trapped it well. We'll give the hand pass across to Moyer, who has run hard since effecting that spoil. This is Browning. Goal coming up for East Fremantle, and he's hit the post. Well, Moyer's work deserved a better fate.
2 posters so far to East Fremantle.
Both to Browning.
I think Browning's kicked them both.
Yes.
He's a straight kick, Keith.
Yes, he is a good kick, and he doesn't miss many like that one. Hans Bayer will agree with me.
So Sadowski to put the ball back into play for the Falcons will favour the members' flank here. Buss and Turley. Turley, good mark.
Too much experience.
Buss a good player though. He's impressed me in that first quarter. This is O'Brien now, defensive 50-metre line. They haven't gained too much territory.
He needs to lift.
That's an awful kick. Knocked away by Taylor. It was meant for Browning. He should arrive first. Mifka from behind. Browning still goes. He's beaten 3 of them, and from 50 metres, kicks towards the square, going back with a flight. Lamb almost took a spectacular mark. Sadowski's out of bounds, and he's been tackled high. But that was almost a great mark to Colin Lamb.
Yes, it was. And I didn't think there was much wrong with that tackle either.
Turley from behind, up in front, Repacholi, and the umpire says,
Gee, they've got a lot,
going to East Fremantle here,
of players down on form, West Perth, haven't they? They really have.
I didn't see what that kick was for. Hammond, who's used his aggression so far and used it fairly, kicks to the top of the square. In front, and a good mark taken by Palm.
Got one behind the ear for his trouble too from Colin Lamb.
And didn't even look back.
So David Palm back at Leederville Oval after a successful stint with Richmond. Kicks high towards the members' flank. Zempilas was up and he was able to spoil Ellis. The breeze blowing the ball into this pocket or onto this boundary line. The throw-in taking place just outside the 50-metre line. Hodson is there. Zempilas over the top, but Hodson a little bit too strong. Hammond's kick was spoiled by Yaron. West Perth still in trouble. Turley ran into plenty of that. Another chance for Hasler. This is Palm. He's got no one to give it to. Holding the ball. No play on the call. He was fortunate. Repacholi went without it. Cracker has it. He kicks high back in the Browning direction. Sadowski gets in front. Oh, dropped a sitter. O'Brien put his body in. Sadowski is still there. West Perth have the numbers, but they're making very hard work of it. They've got Hasler ahead of the play. They get it to him. Lockyer closes on him. Hasler's kick takes the pressure off momentarily. Ryder was held out of it. Chance now from Mifka. Infield he goes towards Hall. His hand pass was smothered. Higgins is in there. East Fremantle with a chance to break it up through Reed.
Great desperation.
The hand pass goes across the top to Taylor, and Ryder runs it away from the back line for East Fremantle. Now the West Perth defence has to respond. Browning leads for the ball. He's dropped a couple of those marks this afternoon. Another chance for West Perth to get out of strike. Sadowski with a hand pass across the top to Williams. They need more from him. Good hand pass goes across to Hasler, who's starting to get into the game. The tempo of this game is really quickened now. Higgins kicks down to the half-forward line where Mifka is loose. Hall is loose at centre half-forward, and it's a good kick. He can go on goal from about 45 metres.
Well, that was some very good football and well called, Wal. Both sides desperate on that occasion, both breaking up promising attacks, and now West Perth rebounding brilliantly and have a chance of scoring. A promising player, young Hall.
Playing at centre half forward this afternoon for West Perth. Ellis is on his mark. He took plenty of time with the kick, but I think his kick pulled it. He's missed, despite Trevor's hopes. Another point to West Perth. They need goals, Trev.
Yes, vital part of the match this. 6 minutes into the second term. 41 plays 22. Deracourt goes down the middle of the ground. Zempilas and Hodson. Hodson used his body to effect. Was Smallridge tripped? I don't know. No call from the umpire. Play on now as Boyer soccers it upfield. Hasler's there. Webber over the top of him. Another chance for Zempilas. He goes for a hand pass. Now Mifka's got work to do. He gets around Moyer and kicks into the pocket. Higgins just inside the boundary. This is Nathan Higgins.
Mifka coming into the game, which is good news for West Perth.
He sets it up towards the top of the square, and up goes the full forward. This is Hall, centre half forward, I should say. He's marked about 35 metres out directly in front. Has got some potential.
Looks to have a good pair of hands. He's not all that tall. What would he be, Trev? 5'9", 5'10", but has good aerial ability and showed very good judgment on that occasion.
Fairly short for a centre half forward, isn't he?
Yep.
Drops it onto the boots. Shocking kick.
It's 2 in a row he's missed.
One behind only. They're 3-5-23. East Fremantle 6-5-41. And we've played 7 minutes in this second term.
Well, West Perth are playing very well in the opening minutes of this quarter, but their kicking has been atrocious. Now, the umpire's whistle is gone. I think umpire Baines is indicating that the goal umpire was still waving the flag.
Correct.
And so John Deracourt will have to bring it back into play again. But West Perth have had 2 relatively easy shots on goal, and they should have converted both, but missed both. Mifka a chance out there, who gets the ball down to ground, but Taylor recovers first. The hand pass goes infield, and East Fremantle bounce their way out of defence again. Reid kicks across to centre half forward. Buss is in front. Damon got his hands to it. Turley sockers it, but straight to Smallridge. A high kick back to centre half forward. Streaming out to meet it is Lamb. He hooks it down, but only as far as Palm. Beautiful hand pass to centre half forward that Hasler couldn't pick up. They still have the numbers. Damon has it now. He didn't look. Has kicked high to centre half forward. O'Brien up at the back. Chance for Mifka at ground level. O'Brien will run onto this, or is it Higgins? It's Higgins, I'm sorry, from 45 metres. They've got one. That's the second now to Nathan Higgins. And West Perth really needed that, or they were in danger of a morale-shattering occurrence. Had East Fremantle scored at the other end, it would have been against the trend of play.
Well, a very good passage of football, and Mifka's in the play. It all started with David Palm in defence, and Mifka, who's been quiet in the first quarter, coming into the play, finding Higgins, and he is one West Perth player who knows where the goals are. And good passage of footy.
Swans leading Perth, East Perth leading Subiaco, and Claremont just in front of South Fremantle. Things livening up here. Zempilas a fresh air punch. Hammond out of the middle of the ground. Sharks into attack. O'Brien going back with a flight will be the first to arrive. He's got to get around Lawrence. He's been forced out very wide for that kick, and it lands just in the field of play. Good bounce for Richard Higgins. Out in front of Lockyer, who's done nothing as yet. Webber just inside the boundary. Gets around Del Barello and kicks back towards half forward. O'Brien minus a boot. Missed the mark. Hasler's there now. With him is Taylor. Hasler went looking for the boundary. O'Brien just inside the boundary. In fact, he wasn't. Out of bounds at right half forward for East Fremantle.
Well, a few West Perth players are lifting as they needed to do. David Palm has lifted. Mifka has lifted out on his wing. And they just look a bit better with those players coming into the game.
Hodgson, good tap to the side of the pack. A chance here for Hammond if he can pick it up. He's put under pressure there by Richard Higgins. Lawrence got his boot to it. First back to it, though, is Palm. With him, Taylor. Palm almost shrugged that tackle, then hand passed it out of bounds. About 60 metres around from the East Fremantle goal in the right full forward pocket.
And a promising start by West Perth. They haven't converted, but they look a lot better.
Well, they're 7 points closer than they were at quarter time. Just 12 points the margin now. And here's a chance for them again. Mifka's giving them great drive off that wing. They've put Taylor on him, but it's had little effect. And here's a clever mark taken by Higgins. Back they go towards goal again. This will bounce to West Perth's advantage, but in fact eludes Hazel back there. Gives Deracourt a chance. He's got no one to kick it to. Eventually spots a player in Reid out wide. And East Fremantle will get out of strife. Short kick will find Smallridge.
He's an East Fremantle player that needs to come into the game.
Not a good kick from Smallridge. First to it will be Lockyer. He picked that up well. Cracker has it now. Back in the direction of Smallridge, who didn't have the ball when he was tackled. Socked away by Hammond. Another chance for West Perth to break it up, but Buss intercepts. Lockyer has it now. He's run down from behind, but gets it to Cracker. Cracker goes short, too short. And the defensive mark taken by Repiccioli, who was off. Umpire Baines has ruled that he can go back and have another kick, and now 50 metres going against Browning.
What do you think, Keith?
Well, I think his mind was saying play on, but he really wasn't going forward, and maybe he was
Lamb coming off.
Slip.
That's Colin Lamb, who is their East Fremantle's full forward. I'm not sure what he was doing in defence. Certainly wasn't a 50-metre penalty that was applied either. Smallridge misses the mark and then misses Damon. Smallridge kicks back towards full forward. Chance for Lockyer. Palm's in there, so is Cracker. Hasler took the full brunt of Lockyer's weight. Cracker goes wide. This is Hammond from the 50-metre line. There's no one in the square. He's missed.
Gee, that was well played by Billy Cracker. Instead of applying the tackle, he just wrenched the ball out of the West Perth defender's hands. Colin Lamb's done an ankle, obviously.
Neil Lester Smith has come on.
That's bad luck for East Fremantle because he's been in very good form for them.
Well, Lester Smith is just the sort of player who, when he comes on, can do things immediately, almost spontaneously. This is Lawrence, inside 50. Clever kick to the top of the square, but Williams gets there first. O'Brien should have shepherded. Hand pass to Palm. Lester Smith is after him. Sells him the dummy. Puts the ball down towards Mifka. Webber is back on Mifka now. Mifka showing good ball control. Is able to palm it away from Robert Webber and get it over the line for a throw in at left centre wing for West Perth.
Confidence rising with Paul Mifka. That is a very good sign for West Perth.
What are the stats on Mifka, Ken?
He's had 4 kicks this quarter and 2 hand passes, and the quarter's only 11.5 minutes old.
Hammond gets it to Taylor. He hooks across his body to half forward. Up goes Lester Smith with him, O'Brien. Still goes Neil Lester Smith, but he was bundled out of it. West Perth's palm went looking back for O'Brien. Now he goes for the safety of the boundary. It won't reach. Del Barello knocked off the ball by Taylor. Lester Smith gets it back towards Taylor, who keeps it in. Tackled by Higgins. It spills to Del Barello, who can't keep it in play. In the right full forward pocket for East Fremantle. East Fremantle haven't scored a goal so far in this quarter, and West Perth have only kicked 1, and we've had 13 minutes of play.
West Perth should have done better though, Trev. They've had some chances, haven't they?
Not on the board for them as yet. Browning, big thumb, puts it 20 metres closer. Out of bounds about 20 metres around from the behind post. Right full forward pocket. Interesting moustache.
I've got a feeling that Ellis has now picked up Turley.
Browning and Repacholi. Repacholi beats him easily, but straight down to Lawrence. Clever kick, but it'll land out of bounds, or Sadowski will mark, one or the other. Sadowski with the free kick out of bounds on the full. No, he's going to throw it in.
Should have marked it.
Or let it go.
Browning in front of Repacholi. Clean possession, but dispossessed. Crumbs come to Moyer. Clever snap over his shoulders, just offline. 1 behind only for the Sharks. So almost 15 minutes gone. There's Zapanovic waiting to come back on to replace Hodgson. And John Riggs is also warming up for West Perth. West Perth are 4-5-29. They trail East Fremantle. They move along to 6-7-43.
Sadowski at full-back for West Perth. Kicks the ball to the outer side of the ground where Mifka is in front. And the East Fremantle players ran away from Mifka. He puts it back up onto his own vacant wing. A race on now to see who gets there first, and it's Higgins. Hand pass was a good one, as it turned out. Gets it back towards Hasler. Hasler hooks it into the centre of the ground where Curse is loose. West Perth using the ball a lot better now as they come out of defence. Curse took a long time to unload. Gets it down in the direction of his centre half forward. Ball carrying the pack. This is Deracourt. He's run down from behind by Hazel. Backing off the play was Reid. He kicks high towards Zapanovic, who's just come on, spoilt by Turley. Cracker will be first to it. No, he won't. It's Webber. His hand pass was not a good one. Ellis had to wait for it. He backed up well. Palms the ball on towards Buss. Buss, was taken very high by Williams, and that's reportable. There was no need whatsoever for that player to be tackled in the head.
Williams made the effort, and he got there all right, but in a very illegal tackle. He's not too good, I can tell you.
Well, that was an elbow to the head. It all happened very quickly, even on the replay, but that's right in front of us, and that is a completely unnecessary tackle by Malcolm Williams.
Yes, he should have used his body.
He could have too, Keith.
You don't use your elbows in those situations, and there you see it quite clearly.
Lucky to get away with it.
And had he used his body, he would have been in the clear.
So Hammond drives East Fremantle forward. That's a floater that could have easily carried, but strong hands by Browning.
Coming to the game, Clint Browning, and getting on top of Richard Higgins. He's causing a problem.
Yes, I thought he played a very good first quarter, Browning. He's a very solid performer these days. And no disappointment in his game that he's not playing in the Eagles setup. He gets in and gives 100%, and he's a good footballer for it.
Yes, he's a very good state league footballer. I doubt his class at AFL level, but he's an honest tryer. It's inside 50. The drop punch sailing goalward. He's put it through. Handy goal to the Sharks. 2 goals to Browning. And they increase their lead now on the scoreboard. West Perth are 4-5-29 as John Riggs comes onto the ground. And East Fremantle move along to 7-7-49. 20 points the margin now. And there's Ladle Buss, who received that unfair tackle from Malcolm Williams a short time ago. Swans leading Perth. Subi fighting back against the Royals. And a great game down at Fremantle.
So the margin 20 points in favour of East Fremantle. Socket forward by Cracker. Browning a chance again. He's becoming prominent. Well intercepted that time by Higgins. This is Richard Higgins, who shrugs a couple of tackles and a third, but Cracker gets him. And Cracker has been rewarded for his endeavour with the free kick.
Well, they had a lot of time to do something with it, did Higgins.
East Fremantle on the run. This is Ellis. They've responded well to the challenge that was thrown out by West Perth. Lockyer misses the chest mark. Sadowski at ground level has no support. Lockyer ties things up, allows his troops to arrive. Buses in there. Turley has it now. No one up forward. Puts it out in front of Riggs. Now this fella can run. He got an unfortunate bounce. Just couldn't keep it in play. And the throw will take place on East Fremantle's left half forward flank. It's 4-5 to 7-7. West Perth trail East Fremantle. Zapanovic trying to use his strength on Hazel. Hazel was not to be moved. Riggs gets the kick. Higgins is the target. He's been prominent. Away he goes. He wrong-footed the ball, turned the defence around, gets it to Yaron, who very quickly got it back to Higgins. He's now got room. Well shepherded also by Hall. He's 40 metres from goal, puts it to the top of the square where Zempilas was crushed and will get the free kick. They came at Zempilas from two directions and obviously someone infringed. I couldn't see what the kick was actually for. Umpire Baines there indicating that he was struck in the head.
Yes, the East Fremantle defender not going for the ball. I'm partly obscured here, but he went back to try and sport. It was a good pass by Higgins to Zempilas, and I think he was going to take the mark, and instead of going for the ball, the East Fremantle defender went for the man, paid the penalty.
Basil Zempilas has kicked another much-needed goal for the Falcons. They move to 5-5. They're still in touch. East Fremantle is 7-7.
Nathan Higgins, the ruck rover for West Perth, is developing to a very good player indeed. Now you can see the tackle coming from behind there, and it's Amirante who infringed and gave away the free kick and the goal. But Nathan Higgins having a very good quarter. His stats must be starting to look okay, Ken.
Yes, he's taken 3 marks in this quarter. He's had 5 kicks and 2 effective hand passes in this quarter. He's had 9 kicks at the moment, and only one player's had more kicks, and that's Darren Hammond, the East Fremantle ruck rover.
Son of Alan Higgins, former West Perth player, North Perth boy. Zapanovic to Turley, through the traffic to Kerrs. Kerrs kicks towards centre half forward. Here he is again. Higgins to Williams. Oh, that was a shocking hand pass for Hall. Set him up, allows Reid in. Yaron goes in on top of him. Ball spills out to Riggs, who was led. Play on. Yaron pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. Umpire Garrett says exactly that. And the free kick to Yaron, Len Yaron. There's plenty of these Yarons, isn't there?
Well, he hasn't indicated Trevor can kick too far today. He's had about 4 kicks, I think. 3 of them have gone less than 5 metres. And I thought the free kick should have come earlier than that. I thought Riggs was definitely legged as he was trying to break away from the pack, and the umpire picking the second free kick. But we'll find out now whether young Yaron can...
well, we'll find out, Keith.
Kick over his hat.
My mother can kick 6 metres. Let's hope he can kick further than 5. He's 40 metres out. Drop punt, looks pretty good off the boot. Clears the pack. It's a goal to Yaron. West Perth are back in business. 6-5 plays 7-7. 20 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Yep, and Len Yaron is the toast of the side. I don't think he is a very long kicker of the footy. He just made it, and that was all on that occasion. But the free kicks have been helpful. There's the free kick. There's no doubt about that in a bear hug. He didn't have the ball, but the interesting, Ken, I don't suppose you'd keep the stat, but a lot of goals have come from free kicks in this game so far.
Well, the first goal of the match came from Michael Taylor with an out of bounds on the full. Lamb got a goal from a free kick. Higgins got a goal from a free, and the last 2 goals have both been free kicks.
Here's Mifka in possession for West Perth. Back to the half-forward line. Williams, good mark in front of Ryder.
The human computer got it all.
They're streaming downfield. Williams had his back turned. He's called a play on now. Now, how can that happen? Moyer was standing there. The good kick has found Yaron again. Now, Yaron could tuck that ball inside his jumper without any trouble. I think they'll have to get him a smaller one before next week. It's too easy to be tackled.
Well, size 52.
It's size 52, yeah.
Well, he needs to tuck it in at least.
He wants someone to lead because he won't get the distance this time. There's not too many open spaces to lead into. He'll put it up to the square. And that's probably not a bad kick. Williams has marked it. Yes, as it turned out, it was a terrible kick off the boot, but that's the sort of kick that can wrong foot the defence.
Well, Williams trains with him. He knows how far he can kick. And
try to torpedo.
For his size, he's a very good mark overhead, Malcolm Williams, isn't he? I mean, he really does bring in some spectacular marks, and no trouble at all pulling that one in over Moyer. But he wouldn't be much bigger than Moyer. Moyer would be heavier, I would suggest. But he really did bring it in very easily, and usually a pretty good kick at goal. And midfield play, West Perth have done very well this quarter.
Well, West Perth needed something unpredictable from that kick from Yaron, and they got it. And they're now within 2 points. The Falcons storm back at East Fremantle. They move to 7-5. East Fremantle is 7-7, and Malcolm Williams gets his first for this Saturday afternoon.
Yes, and had they kicked accurately earlier in the game, that's Malcolm Williams' mark, and there's no doubt about that. He's pulled it right down with him and airborne. Oh, a bit of pressure coming from Deracourt. That's unnecessary. But missing a couple of goals early in the quarter, had they kicked them, then they could have had a handy lead. Conan Lamb off for East Fremantle. He's got a knee injury. We've just had the report. He's got his knee packed in ice. But it is noticeable that East Fremantle's forward line just hasn't functioned as well since he's been off the field.
West Perth have Hazel on the ball over the top of Zempilas. Lawrence stolen by Riggs. Hand passes for Damon. Damon's got speed. Look at him go to right half forward. Now he boots long towards the top of the square. Williams loses his footing. Zempilas pushed everybody over, and Wright is the first back. Over the top for Deracourt. East Fremantle out of trouble from the defensive 50. Out in front of Weber, but too wide. And that'll be a boundary throw-in forward of left centre wing for West Perth.
Like the third hurdle in the Grand National, wasn't it?
They all fell over. But East Fremantle now have a bit of pressure on them. West Perth have gained in confidence.
Hazel and Zempilas. Hazel 50 in front. Zempilas clean possession. Good work in the ruck. Weber around the corner. Up goes Sadowski. No mark taken. Through the legs of Smallridge, who has tackled unfairly. He'll take the free kick back into the circle. Coach's box there for East Fremantle. Ron Wilcox looking on. Smallridge. A good kick to centre half forward. Up goes Browning. Paddles it away for Cracker. He knocks it away from Turley. Bus lost his footing or his rails. In goes Hasler. He's run down. Pushed in the back, says umpire Baines. Away goes the ball.
He's got Damon out wide. Riggs is with him. Riggs goes up to provide the shepherd. I think he would have been better off going ahead of the play. No, he's done the right thing. Damon from left centre wing. That's a telling kick too towards centre half forward. Reed and Hall. It comes to Higgins. This should put West Perth in front. Higgins has his third. And the Falcons are in full flight. They're 8-5. East Fremantle are 7-5. And that's their fifth for the quarter.
And Higgins, and Nathan Higgins is having a big game indeed. And free kick again starting that attack going forward. Everyone missed it except Higgins. He's got a string on the ball at the moment. Every time it comes into the West Perth forward line, somehow he finishes up with the ball. It's been an outstanding quarter as a ruck rover half forward flanker by Nathan Higgins. And he's been largely responsible for West Perth getting back into this game.
And he's 18 years of age, Keith.
Yep, he's got a future. He can play footy.
His father was telling me before the match, he told him before the start of this season, you're at the crossroads, son. Do something or get out of it.
Glad my dad didn't say that to me at 18.
He said that to you at 42. Riggs on to Curse. Here come the Falcons again. The kick's meant for Madaffrey. Good pick-up. Over the top of him was Amirante. Oh, with his leg, Madaffrey. That was silly play. Amarante's given away some silly kicks.
I think that was probably a worthwhile one, Trevor, because Madaffrey wouldn't have missed if he'd got any closer.
Well, he's still going to have a shot, isn't he?
Yes.
Well, it might have been a professional free kick, but not 40 metres out of goal.
No.
And I can't see the value in that at all. And I agree with Trev that Amirante has given away some free kicks today in that back line. And wouldn't be surprised to see him having a seat on the bench very shortly.
Madaffrey's kick is straight. West Perth really have charged up in this second quarter. They've had a big term. 2 goals now to Paddy Madaffrey. And East Fremantle find themselves now with a bit of work to do.
Bus has just gone into the depot and Hodson's back on.
Yep, and only for an oil change. East Fremantle 7-7-49. They now trail by 10 points. They led by 19 at quarter time. West Perth are 9-5-59.
Yes, and Hazel hasn't done all that badly in the ruck either. He's come in and he's had a few favourable bounces, but he's used them very well. He's palmed them to a West Perth player, allowing them to break out of the middle.
Well, the Falcons have bolted to a 10-point lead. 49 plays 59. Smallridge sends East Fremantle forward. They storm towards it. Lockyer. He's trapped the ball cleverly this afternoon. It's the rest of his play that's let him down. This is to the top of the square looking for Lester Smith. Arm gets there. It comes back to Lester Smith, who makes an immediate impression. He's only been on the ground for a couple of minutes, and he has got a quick response.
Nice little nudge, Keith. Yeah. Before that.
Well, David Palm very careless in defence. That's big Andrew Lockyer. Zabanovic had won a very good knockout of the middle on this situation, and There's Lester Smith dropping the mark, and David Palm going without the ball. He made it so easy for Neil Lester Smith. He just waltzed in on his left foot and popped it through. An experienced defender shouldn't make that mistake. But big number 27 for East Fremantle, Stepanovic, I thought he did very well in the ruck then, and got the ball going forward for East Fremantle.
In this quarter, West Perth have added 6 goals 2, East Fremantle 2 goals 3. Hazel's done some good work in the ruck. Riggs kicks to centre half forward. Coming to meet the ball is Rankin, hasn't been sighted yet. Hall emerges from outside 50. The kick to full forward, Ryder. With him is Higgins and Zempilas. They're battling at ground level. The umpire coming in to bounce it down 25 metres out from the Falcons' goal.
Holding the ball, well, I don't think anyone was holding it.
No. Umpire Baines and Garrett have done very well, in fact. Stepanovic and Zempilas the second time, down to Ryder. This is going to be in the field of play.
Oh, great.
John Riggs. 50 said you go, he said no, you go.
He showed a bit of courage, actually, didn't he?
He did. This is a good kick too to the square. Zempilas is there and Hall over the top. Ellis tried to knock it through. Shot over his head, it's a goal!
Madaffrey, was it?
Madaffrey's included a free goal.
Zempilas?
Paddy Madaffrey,
was it?
Yeah, it was Madaffrey.
3 goals. Now to Paddy Madaffrey.
Well, that's a freak goal, getting up his Hall. He's a good aerialist. And there's the ball on the ground in the pack, and over the top goes Paddy Madaffrey, and he's kicked a soccer-type goal, and their confidence is high. It's amazing how your confidence can be down and up all in the same game.
Well, it's really on here at Leederville Oval. This has been a great second quarter, particularly from West Perth, but East Fremantle haven't been denied. Higgins has it now. Out wide he goes. West Perth trying to knock it to their own advantage. O'Brien to Hazel and then wider still towards Kerse. Kerse got tied up in his own legs. Chance now for Stepanovic to get East Fremantle going, but it goes straight to Mifka, and there's no one around him. Mifka from left half forward, puts it high in the Zempilas direction. He almost got his hands to that. Chance for Amirante, who appeared to be held. Yaron goes back on goal and he's missed. The West Perth grandstand rose as a result of that Madaffrey goal, but no one rose higher than Trevor Jenkins. There's the Ellis kick back into play. And a good mark taken by Reid. He plays on quickly and puts it out in front of Lawrence, who's drifted out of the game since a good first quarter. He's able to get away from Damon. Gets his kick in the nick of time and uses the ball well and finds Rankin. This is Cracker. He's got plenty of room. He could have gone a lot further. He's gone towards Lockyer, and Lockyer has the mark.
They're too strong. Held his ground very strongly indeed. And very little that Rapaccioli could do then.
This will make... Sorry, Keith.
Very big man is Andrew Lockyer.